Hey everybody, Chef Stu back in the kitchen, bringing you one of my favorites to make at home that not a lot of people know how to make, and that is homemade ricotta cheese. Honestly, if people understood how easy ricotta cheese is to make, everybody would be making it, and I'm positive that if you give this a go, you will never buy store-bought ricotta again. The most important thing here is what we're using. So what we're using is 2 cups of whole milk. You could use 2% in its stead. We also have 1 cup of heavy cream, 33% cream. We have 1.5 tablespoons of any vinegar you're looking for. I'm using white wine vinegar. You could use apple cider vinegar or even distilled white vinegar. And then we have 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. We also have our cheesecloth. So we have a double layer of cheesecloth. You could use muslin cloth, but I much prefer cheesecloth because you can throw it away at the end. And we also need a sieve and a bowl that the sieve fits into, preferably. You could do it just in the sink, but creates a little bit of a mess, as well as we have our pot. So all that we're gonna do here, we're gonna add our milk and our cream together in the pot. Just like so. We're gonna add our salt, and we're gonna go over to the stove and bring this to a rolling boil. It's gonna take about 5 minutes. I'll see you then. All right, so as you can see, just came to a rolling boil here. This is our everything except for our vinegar, and that is crucial that we didn't add that because now is the time to add our vinegar. So it gets added in all at once. We're gonna give it a nice stir around. Pretty much immediately, you're gonna see some curdling going on of basically the milk fats that are in there separating from the whey. And the most crucial thing now is we let it sit. So you can see on my spoon already, it's starting to curdle. That's a good sign. We're gonna just give it a quick clean up along the edges like this, and then I'm gonna set this aside for 20 to 25 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, so after our 20 to 25 minutes, it looks like this. So you can see a little bit of the whey on the bottom. Ooh. And now we're gonna pour this into the cheesecloth. And what I did with the cheesecloth is just wetted this with a bit of water. That's it. We're just gonna pour it in, try and keep it in the middle. Not gonna disturb it too much. For the purposes of this video, I might stop there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it settle a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna just keep adding. And then here's a cool little tip, which is your whey that you're gonna end up with. You're gonna end up with all this liquid on the bottom. There it is. That can actually be used in your garden. You might wanna look up on that to make sure it doesn't kill your plants, but you can use it in your garden. It's good fertilizer. Okay, once I've got all of the ricotta poured into my sieve with my cheesecloth, I'm now gonna let it sit at room temperature here for about half an hour. That whey is gonna continue to strain out. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer this to the fridge, put a little bit of weight on top of it, and the longer that I leave it, the thicker it's gonna get. So it really depends on your taste. You can leave it for half an hour, it's gonna be quite wet. You can leave it for 4 hours, it's gonna be dry. You can leave it for 24 hours, it's gonna be really dry. So really just from that point depends on your taste. My personal taste is I like to leave it for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so several hours has passed and our ricotta basically has lost all the moisture and kind of dried out to the point where I like it. It's a little bit moist still, but not too moist. So now I'm gonna transfer it over to a dish, and this could stay in your fridge for about 5 to 7 days. So now we've removed this from the cheesecloth. This is the finished product with ricotta. You could have this with any nice tomatoes. Honestly, you can have it on its own. That's how I enjoy it. And I just sprinkle a little bit, or a little drizzle, a little bit of olive oil over top. You could do this with honey. You could do this with a whole bunch of different stuff. And don't judge me.